Ain't no mileage or $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel, that probably baffle it. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertips like I'm Thanos. Knocking those down, no bangles. Without a Kango, tailor made. Walk with a limp, them bands is heavy, I need a brace. I am money, I guess the world is just a safe combination needed, not a coca key. I'm the extra lighter on the dresser. I know you need it, smoking out the competition, pouring up, we undefeated. What you heard, let's you heard, we eatin', talking about extra with a splash, extra acting bad, pull it like parades on parades, extra with the slab, pay what it cost for the tab, extra with the band, young Crizzle King, better add extra on the. I go extra to be great, I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake, I got extras on the plate, I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra.
I'm harder than I ever been. Losing's what I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates. All my bars on Rubik's Cube. Every time I do it, I just have to do it beautiful. I can't let this moment pass. Yeah, I know my time is now. Know my mama proud of me. And my grandma smiling down. Every time I turn it up, whole crowd be wildin' out. Matter of fact, let me see your hands. Look, I saw my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go. I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
Heart of a lion, my time, here I go. I am not moving in silence. If it ain't moving, move it. We making movies, moving. I get a chance and take it. We bout to build it. They leaving it vacant. I just go harder. I am a ball that I gotta get it. I am so with it. I will go get it. That is the difference. I am not waiting. I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right. My grind too tight. This head rhyme too nice. This my world, my life. One shot, who me? Take that, who we? One shot, movie. That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need.
One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Chicago Bears. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. From the 10. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. to start the drive. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And yet again, it's Howard with a catch. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
The Bears in a disappointing 0-4 through the first month of the year. It's been really a lost first month of the season, that's for sure.
And they still believe they have potential. They still believe they're a good team. But they have to absolutely start showing it right now. 0-4? That doesn't even sound right to them. But let's face it, you are what your record says you are until you break out of it.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now ETN to start the drive. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Next receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Play action. It's Fields. He's got his big tight end, Farrell, complete. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he is going to lose yardage here. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on 3rd.
Could play an exotic coverage.
They'll run with Etienne. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 30. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. We're talking about defending specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back can get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure he got the first down and not worrying.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 31-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
With that impact, I fully expected the ball to pop free. I still remember an old defensive back friend of mine. He used to say, guess what? Even if they catch the ball, make sure they have a memento to take back to the sideline.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
To throw is Fields. He'll drop that underneath to Etienne. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now Fields going to keep it running left.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
And that'll be incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
And the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Etienne up the middle.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught them off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Etienne trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try to run with Etienne, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Travis Etienne, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A huge play there for Chicago. 47 yards. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And I tell you from our broadcast booth, because we're pretty close to the 50, we had the best view, a bird's-eye view of that throw, and it was an absolute thing of beauty to watch. Never ceases to amaze me, the arm strength of these guys.
This is Lazard with a catch out left. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears are an extra point away from drawing level. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. Returning from his end zone is Barner. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. 27 yards there, a first down.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Fields on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield. I respect both sides on that play, CD. For him to be able to hold on to that football and the impressive tackle, wow.
Did you notice the look between the two of them as they came off the ground? That look did say the word respect.
On second down, a run with Etienne. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 3rd and 2, Fields. He'll get that underneath Etienne. And he will have a Jaguars first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Back to the ground with Etienne. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the counter, Etienne. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Austin Seibert sets up for the field goal try. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Seibert's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now back to throw. Open man here, the tight end Henry. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 42 yards out. And he missed it. It's no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box, establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Here's a give to Etienne. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 54 yards.
And the Jaguars come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7.
Makes the score Jaguars 17, Bears 7. Logan Cook to kick off for the Jaguars.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Going up top. That's caught inside the 20.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback.
And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that. He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Well, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Back out there to kick it away. No return here for Barner. It's a touchback. They'll start at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Touchdown, Jaguars! For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
Logan Cook to kick off for the Jaguars.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they'll accept that penalty. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 40. On the counter, this is Robinson taken down at the 42.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On 2nd down now, Guy. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down. The tight end Henry here in motion. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. And the pass to Henry is intercepted.
It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll start with the option.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown, because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a handoff up the middle. Guy, and they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Guy, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 3rd down, Guy.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Guy. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. He'll get it inside the 20.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 15-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown.
Chase Claypool.
A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Santos with the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Returning from his end zone is Barner. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Jonah Jackson, former third-round pick, the guilty party. A shotgun snap and again the ETN.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the...
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Now a play fake here on first down. And it'll be intercepted.
And the Jaguars are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Off play action, Fields.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Third and long. It's Fields.
Able to shake him off. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Logan Cook now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter.
Oh, the return is Reed.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Got a man, that's Lazard. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A well-executed 22-yard gain. He'll drop to throw. And this one is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Open man is Myers. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with a football. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. A 4th quarter score, meanwhile, from Kansas City. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? The advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here.
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, you know, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
And the tight end goes in motion left. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Gets this to Myers. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. first down. Guy, and some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So holding everything here. This one's not over yet.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that as they continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. The 20. And can you believe this? A big mistake leads to a defensive touchdown, and they're a point away from tying this thing up. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold it, maybe force the punt. Instead, they forced the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Here's Fields. Looking downfield for Godwin. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he'll be brought down after a gain of about 9, and compounding things, it's now 3rd down as well.
Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ballgame. See an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. All eyes on Fields. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game. A critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had, because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That can finish things off for them.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the Jaguars going to get possession of the football first here in this overtime session as the kick is away.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen? This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
A handoff for Etienne.
That is brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4. Just looking down at this with a naked eye, looks like they have about 1.5 yards. Any chance they go for it here?
There's a chance, but I have to say, punt the ball here. Get rid of this thing and try and help your defense a little bit. I know there's that temptation, and I know people have it on their play sheet. I have that one play that'll get me what I need, but if you don't get it, you pretty much handed the game to the other team.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Here comes Reed.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Now their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Now a throw here, hauled in, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call, but when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to them. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
first down. Guy. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll keep it on the ground. Guy, and he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 40-yard line. 82 yards rushing for him now to this point. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw here. Open man, the tight end Henry. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for Chicago, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills.